Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the best damn professional wrestling podcast on the planet. I'm, of course, one of your two hosts himself, Odin's greatest creation, the gift of this generation, Mr. Perfection himself, Lakota Carter. And I'm sitting here once again with my guy in the chair, the Ned to my Spider Man, the Peacemaker to my Vigilante, the Paul Heyman to my Brock Lesnar, Mr. Magic Fingers himself, who's enjoying an actual dessert for once. I don't never see Magic Fingers chowing down on a dessert, but that's a good dessert to chow down on. How are
when
you
when you
doing?
have the special remedy
You
to
know what I
eat
mean?
special remedy,
Yeah.
and this is a great little concoction.
Great little concoction. He said, "How you been this week, man? How you holding up in there?"
Holding up, man. It's been the start of 2026.
Has just hit you guys like a freight train.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they say
That's
when it hits, it's going to hit, and it's. Can we get off the shit list already and just let 2026 just smooth on out from now?
yeah. And
Would be
so
nice, but
to I kind of want to start this off like every week, giving us a little because I feel like it's important for your audience to know who you really are. I don't want to be one of those people that play character on the podcast. So I'll give you all a little life update each week for me personally. So life's been great, man. Life's been good. You know, I lost my papa a few weeks back, and it's been hard to adjusting to that because to me he was gone, 7 years ago. But it's still a hard adjustment when that was your only living grandparent. It's kind of weird to say that I don't have any living grandparents anymore. Um, so yeah, everything's been great. Tomorrow, I got to go do some yard work. When they digged up our septic tank, they left a hole, and my dad, of course, I'm a young 22-year-old kid, so I don't know all the stuff my dad knows. So he called me today and said, "I hate to ask you to do this," and I'm sitting here thinking, "Why do you hate to ask me to do this?" They didn't cover the septic tank back up, and if it rains, he's just gonna have to have it pumped again. So tomorrow, me and the wife got to go out there and try to cover up that big ass gigantic hole. Um, on the realm of wrestling things, stay tuned to the Twitch and YouTube. The 2K26 pre-order that you guys have been asking me about was secured today, and come March 13th, you guys are going to get a dump of showcase of my career mode, and it's going to be a really fun time. But it's kind of been an underwhelming week for professional wrestling, in my opinion, Drew. We had a couple sneaky little bangers in there, here and there. But the
we did.
rest of
We did.
the week has kind of just been dry as hell. Give me your thoughts on everything. Let's start with Monday Night Raw, man.
Monday Night Raw really only just had a few things
Yeah.
that stuck out, for lack of better words. But to find out that your bouncy boy is going to the chamber
Yep.
just makes it all that much more. You have to watch this pay per view now
Yeah.
because as creative as he's been in the ring already, let's put him inside this insane 2 mile long of chain cage
Mm-hmm.
and let him just do his work. Let him just entertain because that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to find some way to have a highlight reel, potentially multiple highlight reels in this match. And I
Yeah.
cannot wait to see who the final addition to make it the six man and the six woman for
Yeah.
Chamber next weekend. But, this crate, let's talk about the crate
Let's talk about the crate.
because it's just going to go back and forth. SmackDown, Raw, back to Raw, or sorry, started on Raw, went to SmackDown.
Yep.
SmackDown dude said, "Hey, send it back over to the Baldwin, and he can try to figure it out on Monday."
Yep.
So I got a feeling this is going to keep going back and forth until Chamber Day.
Chamber. Yeah.
But who could be in there?
I think that's the big question. But before I get my thoughts on the crate, I do want to get my thoughts on your bounty boy in the chamber. Uh, what a sneaky little gem this match was as well.
Yes.
Going into this match, I knew it was going to be great because you had Gunther and you had Javon Evans in there. But the way that him, Dominic, and Gunther worked together,
Yeah.
it was honestly a WrestleMania caliber match.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
was
it was that type of triple threat.
yeah, it was that good, and that type of stuff on free television. If we can get that more often, WWE, you're gonna be in a
Yeah.
lot of people's good graces. Um,
Yes.
yeah, it was fantastic. It wasn't my match of the week. I'll get to that when we get to that show. But man, this crate, it's concerning me because we have this masked man, and I think I know who it is now. Do I think he'll be the one to be revealed? I don't think so. I think we build this up until Mania. I really do, and I think the vision will get so tired, and I had my early year predictions was having Braun Breaker winning the Rumble and going on to face Seth Rollins for the world title or whatever. Stuff changed, stuff happened. So there's not really any way to fit him in, but the perfect way to fit him in is him get pissed. Right now he's out with a hernia. We don't know. I don't think he's going to be out as long as people are saying he's out. It's just a hernia.
Indefinitely. That's the new word to use now. Whenever
Yeah,
someone's out, they don't know a time frame. Just indefinitely out. Like, no, come on, guys.
he'll be
Go
back,
back to
but
the dictionary.
he won't miss WrestleMania. He will not miss WrestleMania. It's just a hernia. I know hernias can be very serious. I know my dad's had a couple, um, but the couple ones that he had were pretty much the same type of thing with heavy lifting, and stuff. And he was out for just maybe a month to a month and a half. So I think Breaker doesn't miss WrestleMania, and I think the perfect way to fit him in is bring him back and be like, you know what, I'm tired of this shit. I don't care. Show up in your mask at WrestleMania. I don't care. So the way you could do it is have him go out there. We don't know who this masked man is. Currently, right now, under the mask, we all know it's Grayson Waller. If you go back to that the Raw where he attacked Logan Paul and stomped on the announce table and ran up the steps, if you pay attention to his laugh and his smile, that's Grayson Waller at 1,000%. But I don't think that's who, I think he's just a placeholder for right now. I think it will be revealed to be Seth Rollins eventually. And I don't think they're going to treat us like we're stupid, like, oh, it's been me the whole time. No, I think he's trying to build a Vision 2.0. So I think at WrestleMania, you could have Braun Breaker be like, you know what, I'm tired of this, whatever. Bring your mask, bring whatever you want, but I want you at Mania. We get the lights go out at Mania. The masked man is standing at the top of the ramp. He pulls the mask off, and it's Seth Rollins. That's, to me, that's the easiest layup we could do. Um,
I see it, but I want to raise you one.
okay.
Because, like you said, he's starting a new faction.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's the visionary.
Yep.
We have the vision. He's the
Architect.
architect. He was the architect for the Shield.
Yep.
And what's that other name he's always been called? A revolutionary.
Yep.
So this is going to be an evolution revolution
Yep.
2.0.
Okay. Yeah, I,
So
I see that.
instead of it just being Rollins to lift the mask, it's not just one masked man that's going to come up.
Hmm.
It's going to be all members of his new faction.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And each reveal will say who's who, but it's going to kind of be like back in the older days where we found out who the one that was controlling the Undertaker
The
ended up being McMahon.
higher power, yeah.
Yeah, something like that, where it's going to be a massive reveal and it's going to be Seth Rollins as the master planner, so to
Yeah.
speak. But I think it's going to be more like that, where we have the individuals come out. But when it comes to the crate,
Yes.
I think that is who is going to be the next leader. Because there's been rumors about Triple H being on the exit.
Yeah.
So this could be part of that story where it's The Rock or someone inside who's going to be the new overall COO or fighting for that position.
I kind of here's the thing. We've seen that up and out thing for about Triple H. That was at the starting of the year. We started hearing rumblings. We've heard this rumbling since he kind of took over creative. Not saying that it's not possible because anything's possible,
True.
but I don't see him losing his position. Maybe on screen they'll say, "Oh, Triple H is no longer chief
Right.
creative
Right.
or
Right.
whatever." But
He'll still have his position backstage, but I don't
yeah,
think he'll have the. They're going to play some kind of change of the guard, so to speak,
Yeah.
to completely get rid of the McMahon era
Yeah.
that's still technically in place.
Yes.
So I think that's what this is going to be. That reveal will be that. Instead of it being just another superstar to come back, it will be actually someone who is to take power over instead of anything else.
Yeah, and here's the thing with that. Like I'm 100% there with you, but my brain, because I've been watching wrestling for 20 years and I know how WWE works, it I got a feeling it's going to be disappointing.
It probably will.
And
It
it's
probably will.
gonna and to me, this is awesome. Like this is what I love about wrestling. These who is it, what I love
Right.
storylines like that. So when they introduced this crate, I was like, oh, I got instantly hooked. I was like, oh my gosh. Because it's a gigantic crate. Like it's
Yep.
not like a small box. It's a
Right. There's a
gigantic
person of
crate.
some kind potentially
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah. Um, which realistically, like if it is a person and they've been in there for 2 weeks or a week, how they breathing?
Right.
like,
Right.
like, like I know we're supposed to suspend our belief in wrestling, but realistically, like let's think about it for a second, guys. How are they breathing? There's no holes in that box. There's no nothing. So I don't know. I want to say it's Jericho, but you could be completely right about it being this new authority figure. I think that's what needs to happen. Maybe there's something that we're overlooking. Adam Pierce got a phone call a few weeks back. We still don't know who that phone call was from. So what if this is the guy that made that phone call? You know, it could be just new, and I think that's what this era needs. I grew up in the peak to middle. I started watching wrestling in the middle of 2006. So I was 3 years old, going on 4, and then I remember watching it with my grandpa. And then when I was like 5, 6 is when I got really into it, because of my friend Nathan, who has a wedding coming up soon. So I'm excited for that. Um, but I just I feel like I grew up with the authority. 2013 authority. I was 12, 13 years old, and
Yep.
it aggravated me so much. But now that I know how the business works, because back then I didn't know. I didn't know the terms of heel, babyface, all this stuff. So I feel like that's what this new era needs is a new authority to where it's a corrupt person who is in the final boss's pocket per se, and he's pulling the strings. Because as much as I fucking hate Dwayne the Rock Johnson for fucking up John Cena's heel turn, you can't deny the guy's star power. Every time he comes out there, we pop regardless if we like the dude or not. Like it's The Rock, so you're gonna pop regardless. I think the final boss character that he built is the greatest version of The Rock we've ever seen because he elevated himself at such he's been in the business for such a long time, and he excuse me for a second, guys. Let me take a drink. He was able to reinvent himself at such a late state in his life and career. And I loved everything he did at WrestleMania 40. I loved the whole beating out of Cody Rhodes on his tour bus. So you could be right, Mr. Magic Fingers. You could be correct about it being a new authority figure, and I wouldn't be upset about that. But something tells me it's going to be really underwhelming. I don't know, guys. Put down in the comment sections below who you guys think it is. But I got a feeling something's telling me it's Jericho. And if it is Chris Jericho, like I told my wife, she's not a big Jericho fan. Like she hasn't grown up with Jericho.
Right. Right.
So she doesn't really, she only experienced his little bit of AEW work and she kind of couldn't stand him. Uh, and the later part of his AEW run to me with the Bad Apple and the Learning Tree was hot garbage. Hot garbage.
Yep.
And I just hope he comes back. Number one, I hope and pray to God they let him keep Judas as his theme song. As much as I love uh, Break the Walls Down. And I keep hearing this. And Drew, you're a little bit older than me, so you can answer this question. So I have Alexa and I listen to theme songs when I'm getting ready or doing something. And I keep hearing this rotation. It's called King of My World. And I asked Alexa, whose theme song is this? And says, this is Y2J Chris Jericho, King of My World. And it is a fucking banger. And I can't remember him ever using the King of My World theme song ever. So I don't know if Amazon Alexa has spoiled a new theme song for us, but I will try to find it later and send it to Drew because it is genuinely a banger. But as much as that
The
song,
King of what?
King of My World, I think. Hold on. Yeah, King of My World.
He used it at Survivor Series in November 2020. I'm sorry, 2002.
Okay, so he's only used it once.
He used this song for his entrance in the first ever Elimination Chamber match of that at that event.
Okay. All right.
But
Well,
it's really only been used like once or twice.
that's a if you haven't heard it, it is a absolute fucking banger. And I keep hearing it on repeat, and it's fucking awesome. But I hope and pray WWE, if you're listening to me, you're getting into these theme songs. You know, to me, a theme song makes a wrestler in a certain way. I don't think Cody Rhodes would be the same if he didn't have the whoa. I don't think Randy Orton would be the same if he didn't have
Yeah.
voices. Same with CM Punk. If he came out to a different theme song besides This Fire Burns or Cult of Personality, it wouldn't be CM Punk.
When he came
Um,
out to Punkonomics or whatever that dude, that's still to me that
gosh,
was
it
one of
was
the
so
best things
good.
he did.
That's one thing that, like, not to get off topic, that's one thing that a lot of people don't talk about with that John Cena Hill run is his promos were so fucking good.
Yes.
His
Yes.
promos, like the character might have not been great. The heel turn to me is probably the greatest heel turn I'll ever witness in my lifetime. I mean, it was genuinely like as much as the heel run wasn't perfect, that heel turn had our
Yep.
jaws on the floor.
To me, that
Um,
was just as painful to watch as watching Seth Rollins turn on the Shield,
yeah,
and then as well as watching Hogan
Bash
make
the
his
Beach. Yeah,
turn
yeah.
at Bash at the Beach because that just you weren't expected
And
at
like
all.
I feel like every generation has that heel turn. For you, it was Hogan. For me, it was Rollins. And
Yep.
for the kids now that are getting into wrestling, um, that heel turn will that'll be something they'll talk about with their kids, and they'll say, you know, I was watching when Cena finally turned heel. Um, but his promos during that was great. But back to Chris Jericho, let him use Judas for fuck's sake.
Yep.
God, please let him use Judas. As much as I love Break the Walls Down, and as much as WWE doesn't like letting
It's got to do a
talent,
combination, just like when they brought Matt Cardona back.
yeah,
Initially, he
yeah,
did the woo woo woo, and then it's been something else since.
yeah,
But started off with the break the walls down because that's what everyone's known him for. But then, like they changed up the Rock's music when he was doing the final boss
oh my gosh, it
portion,
was brilliant.
and that was a great mix. It included his original as well as the new stuff. Do the
Yeah,
same thing with Jericho. Start it with break the walls. That's what everyone knows him as, and then go with this new thing just to transition it into yes, that's who he was, that's his origin, but now we're here and this is the one you got to worry about.
yeah. Um, and I think, you know, they say his AEW contract is frozen. And a lot of people say that WWE and AEW don't have a working relationship. They don't have a working relationship, but to say they haven't had conversations and that Triple H hasn't been on a phone call with Tony Khan, you would have to be
Oh
stupid.
yeah, yeah, you know that's full of shit.
You would have to be stupid if you believe that.
Yeah.
Um, so anything's possible, man. Like, you know, we said
Yep.
for years that CM Punk would never come back, and I got to witness the greatest return, in my opinion, of all time. Um, that meant so much to me.
That was
So
pretty epic.
anything in wrestling is possible. So I don't believe this. Oh, his contract is frozen. Bullshit. I think he's already signed with WWE. I think they're just kind of waiting to bring him in because, regardless if you like the guy or not, he's a draw. He
Yeah.
is. He's going to bring eyes to the product regardless. Um, but I don't know, man. This big crate is a huge thing. Like you said, there was only a couple things, and it was the crate in the main event to me. Nothing else from Raw
Yeah.
really
Well,
stuck out.
I like that they're continuing the story with Maxine and Natty.
Yes.
That was awesome to see that they haven't given up on that. And where that's going to lead up to, personally, I think they're going to have a Natty versus Maxine match one on one at Mania.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
all for that. You know, just
100%.
they need more matches for Mania anyways, but that would be perfect lead up. Do it on the biggest stage of them all.
Yeah.
Let Maxine have her actual coming out party of this new badass who's worked her ass off for the longest time, but now she's definitely rookie of the year candidate for, going up higher, taking up
Yeah.
against a veteran in Natty.
Yes.
But we get to see
And
the true villain side of Natty, not this WWE BS version.
yeah, it's
Let's
not.
see the blood sport version that we've
Yeah.
seen and we've loved.
It's not the cat mom that WWE has portrayed her for years. It's Stu
Yep.
Hart's granddaughter.
Yep.
And I think she's always had that in her all along, and it's beautiful to see. But the only thing that I didn't like, and you're gonna disagree, you say, "Oh, you got to further the storyline." They could have furthered this storyline in the chamber.
Yeah.
They could have put both of them in the chamber, and then
Yeah.
have them just beat the shit out of each other to where, I say keep Natalia strong because I think Maxine still has time to grow. Natalia's on her way out eventually. Push her to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
Put her in that IC title reign. Put her in that IC title hunt. Put her in the world title hunt. And the way to do that, in my opinion, would have been to have her absolutely just destroy Maxine in the chamber. And then, have Maxine be gone for a few weeks and then have Natty have this big match with whoever comes out of chamber as the women's intercontinental champion. And then you have Maxine come back and cost Natty the IC title, just like Natty cost Maxine the IC title.
Right.
And then that's how we get our match at Mania. That's the only thing, my gripe about it.
I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, I think that would have been the better way to go with it. But yeah, I think she's on the Naomi kind of rise where she reinvents herself, and now we have no choice but to love her.
How
So
long until we get Naomi back too?
I'm
I think she comes back like Survivor Series or something.
yeah, I don't think she'll. Like a lot of people say, oh, they'll take 2 years off because they're a new mom or whatever. But she's part of that Fatu family, man. That wrestling is, she might be married into it by marriage, but wrestling is ingrained into their souls.
Yep.
I've only seen one bad Samoan be a wrestler, and we all know who that is. And we'll get to that in just a second. Uh, um, because we do have some news about EO Sky that is not very good. As a result of Nia Jax is
Yeah.
how do you say that word? Negligence. There we go. Negligence.
She's
Um,
accident prone.
accident prone. But I think we see Naomi come back sooner than what people are thinking because she's seen the way that Jay and Jimmy and Roman have done it. They got kids and they weren't,
Yep.
they were on the road. You can be a parent and still have your career. I think Becky Lynch has proven that very well.
Yep.
So I don't think it's very hard to see. But is that everything from Raw? We can move to NXT now.
Let's go to NXT.
All right. And the one big standout from NXT for me, you're gonna hate me because I know you don't really like this guy and you hate his little stupid little pose as you call it. Ricky fucking Saints is an absolute fucking superstar. Like him and Ethan Page right now to me are the two best people on that NXT roster. I think Joe Hendry he could have went to the main roster and nobody would have batted an eye, but I think it's great that they gave him the NXT championship. But Ethan Page, and it might just be because I know the guy and I've met him several times and he's been one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. This dude deserves a world title push. Like he needs to be the fastest person to ever win a world championship in the history of WWE because he deserves it. He's worked his ass off. I've seen him in several independent shows. I was at his last indie booking where he fought my friend Casey King in an absolute banger of a match. And the funny thing about that was there was rumors online, and I said, man, like you can because at that point he had met us like 4 or 5 times, so he knew who we were. So I walked up to his table. He goes, "Oh, Lakota, what's up, man?" And you don't expect him to remember who you are. But when he said my name, I was like, yeah, this dude cares. And I was like, hey, I got a question. I said, I know you can't answer it. And this was a week before he debuted on NXT. I said, are you going to WWE? And he went. And he bit his lip and he went, you watch NXT, right? And I said, not really. He said, not saying I am, but just tune in this Tuesday. Tune in the following Tuesday, and he had freaking appeared, and I popped so hard. So, Ethan, man, if you ever come across this, I love you. You're amazing. You're an incredible individual. You deserve everything that's coming to you. And dude, just I can picture him right now standing next to Seth Rollins on a WrestleMania stage. Just as much as he's doing this great stuff with Vanity Project and Jackson Drake, who is another fantastic performer, um, that man needs to be the fastest world heavyweight champion in history, and I don't think my opinion will change about that. Joe Hendry, I like this new vicious version of him a little bit. You know, he usually comes out, does his little turnaround, but he was all business this week.
Oh, big time.
He wanted, Ricky Saints for sure, and we're getting, sadly, the pay-per-view that we're getting at Vengeance Day. I will have to watch it the day after, because the day of the pay-per-view Vengeance Day is Nathan's wedding, and I will be
Oh, yep.
the best man, so I gotta, have other obligations. So I have to watch it the following day
Understand
or
it.
when I get home. I actually might be home in time to watch it. I don't know. But
Should be on Peacock though, or ESPN app. One
did
of the
their
two.
Peacock deal expire?
I don't know.
Supposed to
It'll be
expire
somewhere
early
you can find
March,
it.
mid March to early March, I think. We'll find it somewhere. Um, but yeah, I think anything that stuck out from you from NXT.
Just that and the fact that Miles went and whooped the dog shit out of Ethan Page after his match
Yeah.
and demanding that title shot. That's a fight I'm looking forward to seeing. I think Miles will be the one who takes the belt from him,
Yep. Completely
and
agree.
that'll be Ethan's way up to the next round.
Yeah.
But we've also got a little bit of a tease of Soroka and them fixing their issues of their tag team,
Or it could be another double ruse
or it's a
where,
play.
you know,
But it was just nice to see them not fighting for once. They were on the same page, even for just for a little bit. So
yep.
that was convenient. But other than that, I mean, NXT wasn't really something to jump out at this week.
Which is the first time I think since I started watching about
Yeah.
a month ago that I can say NXT was kind of, you could have missed this episode and just caught the highlights and you wouldn't have
Yeah.
missed anything. Um, which there's nothing wrong with that, folks. If you're busy, have prior obligations,
Yep.
or if you just don't feel like, if you're fishing for 12 hours, which, I was during TNA virtually, I was fishing for 12 hours. Uh, like I never understood how much I love fishing until I played a virtual fishing game and I was like, man, I really want to go fishing. Like,
Yep.
but yeah, it was just a very missable episode to me.
Yeah.
Nothing really stuck out, nothing really crazy happened. But it was consistent. It's still consistent. It wasn't a terrible show. It wasn't the most mind blowing thing you've ever seen. I think
It
when
was definitely like a build up show,
yeah,
but it wasn't enough of a build up to really be like, oh my God, that was amazing. But it's still building their stories the way they need to though. So
yeah,
that's a good thing.
they're still consistent.
Yes.
Which it's hard not to be consistent when your creative guy is Shawn Michaels.
That
Um,
is very true.
he has done a great job. As much as I loved NXT Black and Gold, that will always be my NXT. Um, man, he's just been very consistent since the whole turn from 2.0, which was hot
Yep.
garbage. That logo was trash. It was just awful. The titles were garbage, and then they went back to kind of a white and gold era, and they've been
Yep.
very consistent since that switch. But yeah, it's been just a fine episode of NXT. But moving forward to what I genuinely think, and I know
Was show of the week.
you guys are gonna blow us. Oh my God, you're always riding AEW. It's hard not to when they bring stuff like they brought this Wednesday on
That
free
first match with
television.
with
Davis and Moxley.
Moxley, and you got to see Moxley get out of the way just in time, and for Davis to break his hand on the punch in the ring post. I mean, there was no hold back. The full force, it went straight in, and you could just see the blood already there on the hand. So
Yeah.
he's either broken the hand completely, which he continued the match, or he shattered his knuckle or something. But just, oh, that looks so painful.
And it did. And here's the thing that makes it so great about wrestling. I think that was a legitimate injury but he said, "Hey, are you good?" And when David said, "Yeah," Moxley, I will give you credit. I say you can't wrestle all the time, but the way he focused on his fingers and
Yep.
his knuckle specifically, because he literally
He
seconds
bit him quite a
after,
few times too.
yeah, he started seconds after he busted his knuckle open. Moxley puts his hand on the barricade, puts his elbow in his knuckles, and is just pulling his fingers back. Some of the
Yep.
most grotesque stuff you'll ever see. This was a top-notch show from top to bottom. Uh,
Yes.
and as much as I dislike Tony Khan, because I do, I think he's the biggest mark in the business, and he's a bitch. He's a buffoon. But I can't deny the guy's product. Like
No.
good God. Um, you're big on their women's division. So did anything stick out to you other than the Moxley match before we get to what I believe could
That
possibly
that
win
trip
the
that
title?
fatal four way for the TBS title.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was actually nervous about it because out of those four, they have been known to botch it up quite a bit.
Yeah, they fuck up quite a bit.
Um, but it was just absolutely amazing to watch from
Yeah.
start to finish in that match. It was a very fun match,
Yeah.
and I absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was
And I was not upset with the outcome
no.
of Willow or Nightingale retaining their title.
Yeah. It was very good. There was a spot towards the end where I forgot her name. What was her name? That she
Megan,
took a German off the top rope.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Holy
looking at that
shit.
picture now.
Holy somebody
Yeah,
needed to
that
check on her, like bad.
yeah,
Like it was remnant. It wasn't as bad as Kyle Fletcher's, in my opinion,
no,
because Kyle landed
no,
on the crown of his head.
yep,
But it was damn near close. I was really concerned for her, and it looked like she could have possibly broken her neck.
yep.
It was that bad. But yeah, that was very consistent. Somebody who really infuriates me, and I'm going to talk about him for a second because I don't think this son of a bitch needs to be anywhere near TV, and that's Orange Cassidy.
He had a good match.
He had
His
an
tag team partner is a hoss.
he had a decent match. I will never say that man has had a good match in his career because he hasn't.
Oh, come on,
Yeah,
you didn't like the work he's been doing, Tony Storm, here recently?
that is the best thing he's done in his career. I'll give him that, but it's not because of him. It's because of Tony. Like
Touche.
and the thing, and a lot of people are like, man, I can't believe he's the only person. When I don't know if I've told you, I have told you this story. We went to a Dynamite. I think it was. No, it was House Rules. It was their first ever house show they ever did. They've only done like two or three since then. And we met Britt Baker, and the other option was to meet Orange Cassidy. And I had a good conversation with Britt Baker, who I believe will be in WWE eventually before too long.
I
Um,
hope so.
and as I'm walking away, I turn over and I look at Orange Cassidy and I go, "Hey," and he goes, "What's up, man?" And I went, "Fuck you," and walked out. And Britt Baker was just like, "Well then," and he just acted like it didn't bother him. But I needed to get that out because I can't. And I understand there's a place for comedy in wrestling. Look at R-Truth.
Right.
He makes me smile every time he comes on screen. But
Yes.
Orange Cassidy makes wrestling look fucking stupid, and it pisses me off. His whole gimmick of whatever or whatever, it pisses me off. Like I
But
can't.
his weighing in, the
uh,
weighing in thing, that was priceless.
whatever, you fucking idiot. But there's another thing that I really want to talk about, and I'll probably take up a few minutes. So y'all just grab some snacks. This main event. Oh my God.
Yep.
I know we are only 3 months into the year almost. So far, this is my favorite match of the year.
Yeah.
This match was so good. And again, a lot of people will say, "Oh, you're just a Kenny mark or you're just a swerve mark." You damn right I am. I'm a swerve mark. I'm a Kenny
They
mark.
gave us a reason to be a Swerve or Omega Mark Wednesday night.
Holy shit.
And the
It
fact that it didn't end after the match, like it
no,
continued on, and that made it even scarier.
no. And that's the thing. Like they put on a 5-star banger. I believe
Oh,
it was a 5-star match.
oh
In
yes.
my opinion, it was absolutely there. There was, the typical AEW stuff where they kick out, they kick out, they kick out of everything,
Yep.
but their facial expressions during this match. The when Kenny kicked out of the Swerve stomp when Swerve thought it was over,
Yep.
and Swerve pops up in the corner and he's like, "What the fuck do I have to do?"
Yep.
And then they just continue to beat the shit out of each other. Poor Aubrey Edwards, she's the fucking MVP of this match because she took a
Oh,
V
dude,
trigger right on the
oh,
fucking button and it looked beautiful. Um, I
they
think
couldn't have timed that any better.
no, it was beautifully timed, beautifully perfect. I think whoever produced this match needs to be taken out for a couple brewskis, if you know. Um, but this match was absolutely brilliant, and I'll give my thoughts on the ending, and then I'll hand it off to you, and you can give my thoughts on the match. I love Swerve as a babyface, but I love him even more as a heel. Like
He's got a
he's
vicious side for sure.
when he's just a dude from the hood who don't give a shit about nobody but himself and his weed dealer, you know, he's the best version of himself. And he turned heel at the end of this match, putting Kenny Omega through the announce table with one of my backyard favorites. He keeps stealing my moves, and I'm about to take my royalty checks out because he did my vertebraker that I called the Eye of the Storm back in the day when I was in my backyard wrestling days. I need to talk about royalty checks here, Swerve, because everybody's stealing my moves, even though I took it from Lance Storm. But we're not gonna talk about that. Uh the way he did this vertebraker, it scared me. Because we know Kenny has a history of diverticulitis and vertigo and all this. He put him through that table flush as shit. And the thing he kept screaming, which was really confusing to me, and because he won the match, he kept screaming, I needed this. I needed this. What does that mean? What did he need from this? What does that mean? Because he was acting like he lost the match, but he didn't. So what did
Right.
he need from that match that he didn't get? Um, and man, it was just a masterpiece. Like that's the only word I can describe it. But Drew, give me your thoughts on this main event because
Dude,
it was a pleasure.
that main event, it's when he's screaming, I needed this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's he needed the world to see how vicious he could be.
Oh yeah,
And that's what he's saying he needed. I think he knew he won the match, but he wasn't satisfied with that. He needed the world to see how truly vicious he could actually be.
yeah,
And that alone just is terrifying because this is the guy who sought joy in stapling things to himself
yeah.
and to show, hey, pains doesn't exist.
Temporary.
But to see that now whoever wins at Revolution in March for MJF's title,
Yep.
because that's something else we got to talk about.
Yes.
They have to deal with Swerve.
Yep.
I'm not worried about Andrade.
No.
I'm not worried about Hangman. I'm not worried about anybody else.
No.
Seeing Swerve completely destroy Omega after that match, the only person I'm worried about is Swerve. And that's what he needed.
Yep.
He needed to put that entire roster on notice that he could take anybody out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he got.
He did exactly that. And going back to your point, this is a guy who we saw be a sick, sadistic bastard, and his feud with Hangman Adam Page was some of the most grotesque stuff I've ever seen.
Yep.
And the way that they built that feud of him burning down his childhood home, man,
Yeah.
coming from somebody whose childhood home did burn down, like I've said on this podcast before, my grandparents' home was always my safe place when I was a kid, and it burnt down when my brother was living in it. We had a house fire and it burned down. So from that experience, if somebody did that to my grandparents' house, no, it ain't a wrestling match no more.
Right.
I'm gonna try to kill you. Like there's no oh, this is a wrestling match. I'm gonna get my no. You're. I'm gonna try to kill you, or I'm gonna die trying to do it. And I
Yep.
think that's what this feud did very well
Yes.
with him and Hangman.
100%.
Him and Hangman. So now that we're getting that side of Swerve, because Swerve to me was sort of a heel babyface during that feud.
Yeah.
But now we're getting a true I'm out here to put this roster on notice that I'm the greatest black world heavyweight champion, not in just AEW, but the greatest black world heavyweight champion of all time.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that and to see this new vicious side of Swerve and to see I have to go back. I don't know how Nana was reacting to it, but I'm excited to see.
He was nervous.
I'm
Like
excited.
he thought Swerve was going to attack him at one point,
Mm-mm.
and that was when he took the chain off of his neck.
Yeah,
But he was nervous through that, and I don't blame him.
no. The one thing I don't want to see from this, because it'll break my fucking heart. Don't turn on Nana. Don't do it, please. Just leave Nana alone because Nana, to me, there's certain people in the business that you look at and you can't have the Undertaker without Paul Bearer. You
Right.
can't have Hulk Hogan without Jimmy Hart, and you can't have Swerve Strickland without Prince Nana. You just
As
can't.
long as I mean, as long as it doesn't end up being one of those moments where, um, how Kyrie Sane is being treated from Asuka.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
let it be one of those situations.
yeah, that's not great. Um, Going forward into those things, that's
Yeah.
not
You
great.
talk about a way I would lose my mind. That is one way I would definitely get very upset.
Yeah, yeah. So it kind of scares me now that you say, because I didn't catch that. I was too focused on what Swerve's mannerisms were. It's got me scared for Prince Nana, man. Best
Yep.
weed dealer in the business,
Yep.
and I'm scared for him. But to me, this was definitely show of the week. It was match of the week. It was match of the month. Um, I,
Yes.
I genuinely think so. I mean, I know we still have Chamber to come on the
Well, I
28th.
mean, so far I could say yes, that's been the match of the month. But the other thing I want to cover from AEW,
Yep.
there's a stipulation
Oh yeah,
that was
this was
put in
good.
place that Hangman decided he wants that belt, that opportunity so badly that he put a stipulation up there that he will never go after that belt again
Yeah.
for the rest of his career if he loses that match.
And there's only been one other man do that in the history of AEW. Do you know who that one man is? It's Cody Rhodes.
I didn't see that match.
Cody
But yeah, I can see
Rhodes.
him doing that same stipulation.
Cody Rhodes was in a feud with Chris Jericho right when the company kind of started picking up steam in 20, I want to say 2019, 2020, where he put the stipulation that if I lose, I'll never challenge for the world championship as long as I'm here. Um, and he lost that match. So that kind of hindered Cody. To me, it hindered his AEW run.
Makes you
Because
wonder if
he'll
that means Hangman, if he loses, he might be coming over to WWE.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm excited. Granted, I don't think it has been written in stone that MJF has accepted that stipulation.
No, he said he was gonna to
Think
give him
about
another
it,
week so he can come up with his version, his stipulation he wanted.
because Big Hebrew, he gotta have some time to think about it. But yeah, the stipulation also to that match that Hangman threw out there is one of the most disturbing match types in AEW. We saw it at All in Texas against Moxley and Hangman, and that's a Texas death match. So I will say if this,
Oh, oh,
oh, Magic Fingers done found something.
oh. They're saying his contract might actually be up with uh AEW early of 2026.
Mm,
That could be why this match is happening this way.
yeah, maybe
Of
Max
him.
says maybe Max stipulation is no, that world title shot ain't good for me. I want you out of my company. That's going to be really interesting.
Yes, it could.
Mm.
Yes, it could.
Oh man. Only time will tell, but I will tell y'all, for all the parents out there that are watching this, if that match stipulation gets confirmed for March the 15th, I believe it is,
Oh, don't let kids around.
don't let them around, man, because
Oh, red will be green at that point.
it's Red's going to be millions during that
See,
match.
the only other thing I want to cover about AEW though,
Hmm.
there was a wonderful haircut that was given last weekend,
Yes.
but we never actually got to see the results of that haircut because somebody covered it up.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Wheeler Yuta. Joke.
He doesn't like Willie Yuta. I think he's on the same thing with Willie Yuta as me as Orange Cassidy. There's something about that guy. You
No,
want to wring his
no,
neck.
I'm not a fan. Like I was really happy that Moxley made him go through with his word,
Yeah, it was some good stuff.
but I want to see the final haircut.
Yeah,
Like they did the same thing with Kurt Angle. Like you could see he was bald as could be before he even got out of the chair. It still needed to be fixed, but whatever. Wheeler had it covered up with a beanie and a thuggish
do
look
rag.
of the hoodie and whatnot. And
Yep.
it's like that's kind of stupid. Like it's not what we were wanting here, and feeling a little gypped on that. But
Yeah.
other than that, that main event was why AEW took the show this week.
Yeah, like if you guys haven't watched it, go back on Max, wherever you need to go to
Yep.
watch that. Because if you're a wrestling fan and you haven't seen that match, I don't know if you can call yourself a true wrestling fan. Because, man, it was just holy shit.
Yep.
That's the only word I can use to describe it. I missed TNA this week because, like I said, I literally was virtual fishing for 12 hours and I didn't even realize it. My friend Chris, who is literally one of my best friends in the entire world, I really wouldn't have made it through school without him. He always had my back. Um, he's the one that we always got accused of being in a gang because all I had to do was snap my fingers and he was right there. Um, so we literally started playing you guys at like I think one. So I can't remember the time we started playing. And I go, all right, I gotta go to bed because it was literally daylight outside. And I look and it said I had 2 hours put in. When I closed my game and looked at my hours, I had 12. And I was like, no way. There is no, it was like 14 hours. I said, there is no way. I sat there for 12 hours. She was like,
Sometimes it happens.
yeah, you did. I was like, I was catching virtual. It wasn't even real fish. I was catching virtual fish for 12 hours and didn't even realize it. So I missed TNA. Anything you want to talk about from TNA? I would not have
There
known.
was really nothing.
Okay.
There was really nothing there.
Okay. So going forward to SmackDown, uh, another kind of disappointing show, in my opinion. Not that it wasn't terrible. It was watchable, but it was just kind of lackluster. I think the best thing on SmackDown again was Jacob Fatu. I think,
Yeah.
good God, that
Um,
guy is just brilliant.
I mean, there was um, the surprise that Kiana James
Yeah,
bought a ticket to the Chamber. I loved that match, even though it did look like at one point that Charlotte had pinned her, but they kept the match going, and that was one hell of a sneaky pin that she did to get the win.
yeah,
I was very impressed with that.
yeah. It was very good. That match in particular was a big surprise for me, and glad that Kiana James win because she is getting a little quiet little push, and I think
Yep.
she deserves it, man. I think she's brilliant. I think her character works awesome. I think she's fucking stunning to look at. Which we might be out of the bra and pennies era, but that's still good, folks.
Yep.
Regardless, the greatest thing that Odin's ever put on this planet besides dogs is women. So it
I was
don't
really
help.
surprised. Um, I'm looking forward to because of this time where she came out, but when Jade Cargill came out saying that she's
Yep.
going to be at Raw to find out who Liv Morgan is going to be choosing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to seeing that match fall into play. Whether she goes up, whether Liv goes after Stephanie or Liv goes after Jade, in the storyline they do afterwards, because it felt like Raquel was going to try to go after whoever Liv did not choose.
Yes.
So I'm just curious as to either story, because especially where they've been building up the stuff between Liv and Stephanie on Raw and making her cry the other night. That's just well done.
Hear me out. This is a crazy prediction. What if this has never been done before in the history of the Royal Rumble? What if she chooses both of them? both titles, winner take
What,
all.
unify the championships, or
Yep,
just she has both belts?
unify them because in my opinion, you don't need two women's titles.
I, yeah,
You really don't. You can have the women's championship be defended on both shows. It could be a
yeah,
multi-show, double show championship
yeah,
to where there's just one women's world championship and it floats from brand to brand. Um, so what if she goes out there and says, you know what? I want both of those belts. Winner take all, triple threat between myself, Stephanie Becker, and Jade Cargill. Because we know Bianca Belair, my prediction before this was, yeah, she's definitely going to choose Stephanie. And then Raquel's going to get mad and interject herself in that. And we'll get a triple threat between Raquel, Liv, and Stephanie, which could still happen. But we know that my prediction was that Cargill would fight Bianca Belair at WrestleMania and for the title. We now know that Bianca Belair is kind of not close to returning. She might show up the night after WrestleMania or the
yep,
Friday after WrestleMania, but she's still doing physical therapy on her finger. Um,
yep. After that surgery,
yeah, so what if she says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna make history. I want both of them. Unification match at WrestleMania because that that would, in my opinion, fix a lot of problems that their women's division has right now.
yeah,
I think there's too many women on the roster and not enough um, too many belts. Does that make sense? There's too many people on the roster and too many belts. You have the women's tag titles and two world championships. You don't need two world titles. And you could say the same thing about the men's division, but in my opinion, in the men's division, you kind of do need two world titles um, because that main event scene is too big and too crowded to have one major
yes,
men's world
yes, that,
championship.
yes.
So I don't know. There was a thought that I had popped in my head literally today while I was doing something. I forgot what I was doing. I think I was ordering Taco Bell. But what if that would be history making for sure. And I think it would
Yes.
number one, it would put both women's championships on the card. I know we have two nights, so it's like, oh well, why do we need two nights? But myself personally, and this is a hot take, I enjoy two-night WrestleManias.
Well, what if, going off your theory,
Mm-hmm.
what if she does say, I want all three,
Yep.
or the three of us in one match?
Mm-hmm.
What about the winner of Chamber?
Yeah.
Make it a fatal four-way.
Yeah.
And then that's where you can get Raquel or whoever
Yeah.
in there as well.
Yeah.
So that's another way they could do it. But
Yeah.
there was another segment that I thought was there's going to be some serious payback,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the match of Rhea Ripley and Wish.com's Woah Vicky. Uh, there was a moment where Julia uh, had Rhea like face down on the mat, and then had her arms behind her back and was stretching her out that way, trying to get a submission. And then all of a sudden, she had the audacity to put her foot on the back of Mommy's head and just slam it to the ground.
Oh.
The force that, because she didn't was not able to get her hands down. The force that she hit, I'm surprised that she didn't get up and turn around and just deck her.
Somebody's got a
I'm looking
receipt
forward to
coming.
that receipt,
Yep.
because that, like, damn,
Yeah,
what a move.
that receipt is definitely coming for
But I
sure.
was surprised at how much they are allowing Drew McIntyre to interfere in these matches of people that could potentially be going for his title. Like, they've got to the point now where if either Fatu or Cody even touches Drew, that they lose any opportunity of getting back at him. And
Yeah.
the fact that we saw Fatu just lose his mind on a few people that night, and those security guards just didn't stand a chance. Um, when you've got a rabid Wolverine that's just ready to strike at any time.
I just had a theory pop in my head about the crate, and it involves Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu. What if we're overthinking this, man? We still don't know who took out Fatu, right?
Right?
What if
What if
it's
there's the evidence?
what if it's a video, a cassette
Yeah.
tape, or a VHS tape, and Cody Rhodes wins the chamber? Because in my opinion, we know that he's in the chamber already. He qualified. To me, in that field, it doesn't matter who gets put in this week. I think this is the most predictable chamber in history. I think Cody Rhodes is walking out the winner.
I think we're going to get multiple people coming in for Chamber, right before that match happens for the men.
Mhm.
Because you got to remember, we still got to figure out Brock Lesnar here.
Yeah, he will
And
be at
there's been rumors that he's going to be facing LA Knight at Mania.
yeah, which nobody wants to see, but okay.
But still, where does he interfere at? Does he maybe before Knight's going out there, he attacks and makes Knight not able to compete, and then someone else takes his place, or Lesnar takes his place.
I don't know.
But with all the talk of that, then it just makes you wonder how many people could potentially interfere in this men's chamber match.
A lot.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the way it's going to be. There's just going to be multiple attacks, and
Yeah.
something that something's going to happen to where we might not get the person that we think to win the match. It could be Sami Zayn or someone else. But to think that it's automatically going to be Cody, but that would just build up the issue between him, Fatu, and Drew.
That's what I'm saying. What if at the end of the chamber match, right? We all think it's over. We get the executive producer Paul Levesque or whatever, and then lights go out. The crate like opens. It's got a TV in it, right? Just for retro effects. Got one of those old
Okay.
school classroom TVs. When you had you know what I'm talking about on the cart.
When you had the substitute teacher.
Yeah, for real. And you just pulled it out. And then it pops up on the Jumbotron. And we find out that it was Cody Rhodes that attacked Jacob Fatu. Right there's your triple threat.
Yeah.
Just a theory that popped into my
Because
head as I
I got
was
a feeling there's going to be
thinking.
Fatu's going to interfere in that match
Yep.
if he doesn't find a way to get himself in it. Brock's going to interfere in that match because that's how it's going to build up the LA Knight. Because the only way I can see LA Knight being further involved in the story afterwards is if, like, the very next night he comes out saying, "Hey, this wasn't fair. I should have had this," and it's Lesnar that comes out then on Monday night. But I just something about it. I don't see it just being Cody because you also got to remember Trick Williams is in that now.
Yeah. What a
Um,
holy crap. We just
and
skipped over
then
that, by the way.
yeah, and then Randy Orton's in there.
Yeah.
And now we got your bouncy boy as well as LA Knight and then Cody Rhodes. Oh, damn. You only need one more. And that's
Yeah.
probably going to be Jey Uso out of Monday night. But
Yep.
I just see there being so much extra happening that it's just not going to fully, it might not make any sense, but they're going to try to force it to make sense.
Yeah, and they do that a lot. Like to me, clearly, every time that Brock has been in a rumble, he's either won it
Yep.
or he's been eliminated by somebody that sets up his WrestleMania match.
Yep. Yep.
And to me, he eliminated Obafemi, who
Yeah.
realistically, if he would have won that Rumble match,
Oh, yeah.
I would have been so happy and wouldn't even
Yeah.
care. I would have been like, "Oh my
Yep.
gosh!"
Yep.
And you can disagree with me on this or not, but to me, if we do Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight, which nobody wants to see, nobody gives a shit about LA Knight anymore except for John. um, to me, you made Obafemi look weak in that aspect because
Yeah.
he came in at number one, throughout Braun Breaker, he was dominating that Rumble,
Yep.
dominating. And then Brock Lesnar comes in, pops him off, and then Brock's elimination was off camera. during the whole
Yep.
fucking stupid little fucking yeet bullshit, which I
Yep.
haven't addressed. But
All right.
Jay, I love
I'll
you.
be right back. You keep going.
Yep. I love you, Jay Uso, more than anything in the world. You're one of my favorite guys. You are, in my opinion, part of one half of the greatest tag team of all time. But the whole fucking yeeting when somebody literally, the Rumble was happening. I'm about to get heated. The Rumble was fucking happening. And you fucking literally take 2.5 minutes to get down to the fucking ring, and then here, it's over. Thank God we can get back to the Rumble. No, let's run that shit back. And then Brock Lesnar gets eliminated while we're having a fucking yeet fest. Why? What purpose does that serve? Number one, you made him eliminate Obafemi. For now, if this whole fucking LA Knight theory is correct and we're getting LA Knight versus Brock at Mania, which nobody wants to fucking see or care about, you number one, you buried Obafemi by having him being thrown, tossed out by Brock Lesnar, and now you're trying to build him up as this unstoppable monster. And yes, he is. He's doing fantastic. And every time he fucking comes to the fucking, comes out and does his little squash match, we're all like, yeah, he's the ruler for a reason. Fucking awesome stuff they're doing with him. But number one, you fucking wasted, in my opinion, what could have been the greatest WrestleMania debut for a monster talent in Obafemi when you could have him fight Brock Lesnar, who we know when SummerSlam comes around, Minnesota is probably going to fight Gunther and lose, and it's going to be an awesome match. We've been wanting to see that for years. Um, but you take somebody like a fucking Obafemi, right? You're building him up. He gets eliminated by Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar, one of the most decorated sports entertainer athletes of all fucking time, gets eliminated during a fucking yeet fest. It pisses me off, and I haven't talked about it because I forgot about it. And now as I'm talking about it, it's got me heated again. And I don't know about you, Drew, but this bothers me. It bothered me at Survivor Series when he literally stopped the entire match, got on top of the fucking cage just to fucking yeet, and then during the Royal Rumble takes 2 minutes to get down to the fucking ring, and then you're like, okay, it's finally over. We can get back to my favorite event of the year. No, let's run that shit back. And during the second Geek Fest, you have the Beast Brock Lesnar get thrown out by who? Which it makes sense now if they're going in that direction. He got eliminated by LA Knight and Cody Rhodes off screen during a fucking yeet off. Oh,
So that would be his revenge to come back and get him out of the chamber.
yes, yes. But I don't know if you heard what I just said. To me, they wasted the opportunity to have the greatest WrestleMania debut
Oh,
to build a monster talent like Obafemi.
yep.
Because we know Brock only has a few months left.
Oh, or could they get the same pop from him destroying Omos? But then again, you're going to destroy a monster either way in that one.
Yeah, so they
Because
kind of,
if that's the case, Omos would end up being like Great Khali and just being a jobber.
yeah, and I don't want that because I'm actually an Homo sapien. I love Omos. I think he's fantastic. I met him at the Rumble. I accidentally, I was in the Rumble. I don't know if I've told you this story. I was in the Rumble merch store when I went to the 2023 Royal Rumble, and I bumped into him. And I knew when I turned around, I was like, this is a really big human being. So I turned around. He was doing a meet and greet, but he was walking around the store just, looking around. I turn around, and when I tell you my heart dropped, my heart dropped because he's huge on TV, but it's nothing compared to in real life.
Oh yeah.
Like he is a gigantic human being. So I'm looking up, like I literally have to look up at this man, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. He was like, oh no, man, you're cool, it's good. And we have like a 3 minute conversation because I follow him on TikTok. He's a big fragrance guy, and I'm a big fragrance guy. I love cologne. If you don't know what to get me for Christmas, guys, get me some really expensive cologne. I got you. And we started talking about colognes, and then I realized, like, holy shit, I just talked to Omos, and he's one of the nicest human beings on the planet.
Yep.
And so it makes me angry because you know me. I am a huge Obafemi fan. I love the guy. I think he needs to be pushed to the moon the same way they pushed Ron Breaker and the same way that Braun needs to be pushed to the moon. I'm big on big monsters. That's why I love Gunther. I love Gunther so much because he's not one of these flippy dippy bullshit guys. As much as I love my bruv Will Ospreay, he don't have to go out there and do a Sasuke special. He just beats the shit out of you and makes
Yep.
it look believable. And to me, you kind of buried both of your big monsters because Brock Lesnar, I've told my wife this, because this is a question that we had, and I might start doing this question of the podcast. If an alien race came to our planet, you guys, and said, "We will send our best species, our best warrior out, and you send one of yours. The fate of the planet is on the line. Who are you sending?" I'm sending Brock Lesnar 10 out of 10 times. He is a genetic freak, one of the most decorated athletes. He's one of the, I mean, his UFC career is not talked about enough.
No.
Like, yes, people say, oh, yeah, he was in the UFC. He went to UFC and in his third fight became the world heavyweight champion.
Yep. And that's not one of those areas you can script.
No, he beat the shit out of people. Granted, when he faced Cain Velasquez, who is a free man, thank God now,
Yep.
He got his ass whooped. And that's another controversial thing that we'll probably touch on next week because we're going kind of long. But Cain Velasquez, one of my favorite fighters of all time, one of my favorite guys to ever be introduced into WWE. When he showed up at Crown Jewel that one year and the look on that was awesome. I was so hyped.
Yep.
And congratulations for being a free man. In my opinion, he shouldn't have went to jail in the first place.
100%.
Because if you're a father, hell, even if you're a brother, you'd have done the same fucking thing Cain Velasquez did and
Yep.
gladly took those charges with a smile. So glad to be
Yep.
out of jail. Glad to have you back out there, man. Hopefully you come back to wrestling or MMA because man, I miss him. But to me, man, it makes me angry. And I know I go on a rant at least once an episode, but damn it, it's hard not to. To me, you killed your big up and coming monster, and you made one of the most decorated people in your company's history, one of the most feared man in your company's history. When his music hit at SummerSlam, we knew shit was about to hit the fan. You buried both of them.
Yep.
Number one, you had Obafemi thrown out after one suplex. He didn't take it in 5. To be honest with you, the way I would have done it is I would have had Brock hit him with everything. German suplex after German suplex, and him just stand up.
Yep.
Hit him with an F5, pops up. Hit him with about 3 F5s, and on that third one, he stays down. Brock's like, oh, finally, shit, let me get him out of here. And he throws him out. That way he didn't look weak. It didn't make Brock look weak.
Right.
It makes him look like a monster. But then you have him just get thrown out after one fucking German suplex. And then you have Brock Lesnar get thrown out off screen during a fucking yeet off that
Yep.
nobody wants to see. Like, that's the big problem with Jey Uso. As much as I love Jey Uso, the only reason that he's over is because of his fucking song and his entrance. Because his moveset is just super kick, spear, and splash.
Yep.
You take that yeet away from Jey Uso, he would have never been world champion.
No.
So, why, on fuck's sake, number one, you ruined the momentum at Survivor Series. It was so fucking stupid. And you ruined the momentum of the Rumble. And then you had Brock Lesnar thrown off screen where we had to go back and be like, oh, who was that? And then the camera panned over real quick before he went over the rope. The fuck? But
Yep.
anything else you want to cover from SmackDown before I cover something that we don't talk about this company a lot, but I feel like they deserve
I mean,
it.
the only other thing that was surprising was the fact that Aleister Black beat Randy Orton
Oh, yeah.
in a singles match, but that's
Yes.
rare.
Yeah. And granted, he had some help.
But still, he can now put his name on there of who's beat him in a singles match.
Yeah. I mean, this to me, and I love Tommy End, as I call him, because I've been following him for that long. I love the guy. I love his presentation. I love that whole moment where Orton turns around and goes to do the pound on the ground. And he's just sitting there cross-legged. Fucking awesome. Awesome shot. And the fact that he won lets me
Yep.
know that, okay, he's been kind of lost in the mid card for a while, but he's
He's going to
historically,
work his way out of that mid card for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, he's historically a Triple H guy. And that to me proved that Triple H still has faith in Aleister Black. Um, and another thing before we get off SmackDown, Johnny Gargano is the most brilliant thing going in all of professional wrestling right now. This whole sad, mopey planking that he is doing, this man is dedicated. He was on vacation. I don't know where he was, but goddamn, Candice LeRae looked good. That's for sure. And he was planking in his hotel room. And I don't even know how he did this. I know how he did the one where they're on the balcony and he's sitting on those two tables. There's another picture, and I don't know if you've seen it, Drew, where they're in the ocean, and
Yeah, yeah.
Candice has Quill on her hip taking a picture, and in the background, Johnny Gargano is planking
Yep.
on top of the water. And then we get to SmackDown, and Candice is interrupted by Jordan Grace, which is really interesting. And then
Which they get to fight each other next week.
we pan up, and on top of the big ass crate that
They're just like,
everybody
what?
don't know what the hell is going on in the crate. On top of the crate, I don't know how he keeps a straight face during this because he never broke, never did
That's a
anything.
great question.
Speaking of breaking character, I want to talk about Damian Priest after this for real quick.
Okay.
But the way I don't know how. Number one, I don't know how he got up there. I know he could probably use a ladder, but it's still probably difficult. Don't know
Yep.
how the hell he got up there. Number two, the way that he just keeps it so dead face and he's so
Oh
serious,
yeah.
it makes
Yeah.
it 10
I don't
times
know how
better
he keeps his focus.
because everybody around him is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then he's just
Right?
up there going, and it's so good. Um, and it's hard not to break character with that. But R-Truth made Damian Priest almost have a fucking
Almost every week right now he's been
yeah.
doing that with him.
I forgot what he said at the end there. I think it was you got our balls mixed up again. And you
And
could
then the
see
week before it
Priest.
was hey, look, we found a camel toe or whatever. And just oh my God, every
Yeah.
week it's just
Yeah.
one thing that's funny and funny and funnier and just
You
oh
can you can see the just genuine smile that he brings to people. If you guys watch
yep.
Unreal, you know how devastated everybody was. But I've never seen somebody be able to break so many people at one time because you had, you know, Priest is over here being serious as he can be, and then Truth says something, and then Priest literally has to go like this. And
He's got to
literally,
cover his mouth or look away.
like 30 seconds after Truth has walked off screen, Pierce or Aldis is talking to Priest, and Priest is still giggling, like he's still
Yep.
laughing and trying to keep pace. But that SmackDown was okay. It had a few funny moments, few key moments, a lot of
Yep.
questions going into next week, going into Chamber, which we will have a prediction
Yes.
video up the same day at the pay-per-view. Um, but a company that we've never talked about on this show, and it deserves recognition, man. They had a show going on the same time as SmackDown. Luckily, we have multiple devices, multiple TVs in the same room, so we were able to be on Thriller TV, $14.99 a month if you guys want to watch more independent wrestling. And we watched House of Glory, no turning back. Number one, this match between Charles Mason and Andrade was what a match, and what a
Dude.
and a lot of people I can see online that are upset about the ending of that match. That was one of the most creative heel
Yes.
endings I've ever seen.
Yes.
He's like, all right, I've hit you with everything. We're out here. The ref's counting. I'm just gonna stay on the floor. So what a huge. I've never seen that guy, never heard of the guy, but I was such a fan of him. He's a great, telling these people to go fuck themselves
Oh yeah.
and everything. He was a great heel. But the standout to me, man, and it could be because I'm a big fan of him. I need to get in touch with Mama Zilla and see if we can get Zilla on this show because I'm guaranteeing he'd probably do it. And the best way to get a hold
Hold
of
on, hold
Zilla
on, hold on,
finds.
hold on, hold on. Before we get that.
Okay,
Before we sorry, I'm still on Andrade's match.
go ahead.
Charles Mason did his little halua kick his version of a halua kick
Yeah.
outside the ring.
Yep.
And that fan,
Oh my
because
gosh.
Andrade is so, one of his things now is going around to all the beautiful women, getting pictures, they give him a kiss on the cheek, whatever. He went to her the second time in that match. And thankfully, old girl's all right. But she took one right to the kisser.
Yeah, she got
And
her.
there was no, nothing about it. And Andrade was even pissed, like, dude, how dare you? Like, you, she didn't see it coming at all either. Just
No.
damn. But thankfully, that girl's all right. But man, that was one of those times you want to rewind and get that one over and over. I'm going to have to find it on the internet and hang on to that video clip because damn, that
It was
ouch.
brilliant. And the great thing about wrestling, and I'm sure she got to go backstage and had a pretty hefty amount of merch gave to her.
That or she's a up and coming person, like a superstar,
Yeah,
and they
to me, it
plant
kind
her
of
in the
feels like
audience too. So,
it feels
because
like a plant to me,
yeah,
and I'll tell you why. And either way, she still took that shit without even getting
oh,
her
she
hands up.
did. She took it like a champ.
But the thing that made me a fan of Charles Mason, and I'm not sexist at all, or I'm not a, feminist or whatever. By the way, Kit Wilson is incredible. I will say that every week. Fantastic stuff. But when he grabs the microphone at the end of the match, he said, "The reason I kicked that girl is because she's a bitch," and just walks off.
Yep.
What a classic heel. Like, just bravo, dude. What a way to make, if it was an accident, what a way to make an accident turn into money.
Right.
And
Right.
I told you this, and I swear to God, if I ever had the pleasure of having a match where I get squashed, I swear on my hand to Odin, my introduction will be weighing in at a fuck ton of money. That was the first time I've ever heard that, and I want to use it so bad because
Yep.
it's amazing. Um, but yeah, Charles Mason, you got a new fan out of me, man. I haven't watched a lot of your stuff. Actually, Friday was the first time I've ever seen you wrestle. I didn't even know who you
Yep.
were, but I'm gonna go back and watch some of his stuff because he's brilliant. Um, but the main one, my guy Zilla 2 and MJF Big Hebrew had one of the
It was a hell of
best.
a match.
What a match, man. I think this match was very back and forth. This is what makes me a wrestling fan because multiple times we were like, holy shit, Zilla Fatu is going to win the AEW World
Yep.
Championship. Holy shit. And he didn't end up winning. He ended up losing.
Oh my God, the controversy that would have done though if he
Oh my,
did win it.
oh my God.
Oh,
You know what would have been even, oh my gosh. Here's the booker in my head, right? I'm such a fantasy booker. What if Zilla won the AEW championship, right? And then showed up on the night after WrestleMania with the world championship. Oh my
show up
God.
where? Show up where?
Show up to WWE
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
with the
Let him
belt.
show up with that belt. And oh my God, because that's not like when we had Joe Henry with the TNA title
No.
come over, because that's apples to oranges. But you get the start of the WWE AEW wars. With Zilla Fatu showing up. Oh my
Oh,
God.
Jesus. But the thing is, man, I genuinely, and I think this, I saw a podcast that Brian Danielson was on, and he was asked, "Do you ever think we'll see an AEW and WWE show?"
Yep.
And he said, "I don't think it'll happen in the next year." He said, "But if I'm Nick Khan and Tony Khan, I look at that, and if it's best for business and it's best for wrestling, which he said, I think it would be great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I genuinely, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, do I think it's going to happen? I would say within the next decade, we start to see something brewing between those two companies.
I'm so looking forward to it.
I can't
I'm
wait.
so looking forward
I
to it.
mean, oh my God. And just having the fact that during that match, Max is a heel. We all know he's one of the probably the best heel in the business.
Yep.
For him to grab the microphone and say, "This kid's pretty fucking good, huh?" Not good enough to beat Big Hebrew. I'll tell you that fucking shit right now. But he's pretty damn good, and he shook his hand afterwards. That
Yep.
makes me think. I'm a huge Zilla fan. Because I was a huge Umaga fan. I love everything Zilla does. That makes me think Zilla's going to show up at AEW before he shows up at WWE in a
Yep.
big capacity. But it's just interesting. And then, what did you think about House of Glory and their product and the main event?
Oh, it was great. I mean, they had the crowd exactly what they needed it all night long, no matter
Yep.
what type of match it was.
Yep.
It might have been a little quieter in some spots, but when the crowd needed to be there, the crowd was there.
Yep.
And that to me is a winning performance put together by a brand every night.
Yeah. 100% agree. Anything else you want to cover before we do our little outro here?
Oh, let's do it, dude.
All right, man. So, of course, this will go up on Monday at 5 p.m. every Monday at 5 p.m. now. If you guys still don't use your comment section, that's on you. Like there's a comment section on the YouTube, Spotify. We're everywhere. I'm pretty sure we're on
Yep.
fucking Amazon Music, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but we love doing this. It's my favorite thing to do every week. Um, and man, what a beautiful time to be a wrestling fan. Like I said, come March 13th, because I'm not dropping $100. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I had $100 to drop, I might, but I'm
Right.
not dropping $100 right now when I got a family to feed. Uh, on 2K26. But come March 13th, if I would have dropped the $100, it'd be March 6th. But March 13th, be expecting upload after upload on the YouTube channel. Universe mode for 2K26 will get up and popping. Um, I can't wait for that game to come out. Bringing back the I Quit match, bringing back so much stuff that we've been asking for, and the addition of the new superstars and that CM Punk showcase mode. That's all y'all needed to do. So, pay attention to the Brotherhood Entertainment channel. You guys might get a fishing stream here in a little bit over there, because I might just go sit down and catch me some catfish. Uh, yeah. So I want to thank Mr. Magic Fingers for coming here again. I want to thank you guys. Um, for joining us again. Another project that I want to start doing reviews of movies over on my second channel, my main
Let's
channel.
do it.
Freaking, what's it called? Night Shift. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
With CM Punk, that's definitely on my radar. I might actually watch that here in just a little bit. I'm actually really excited.
You and me both.
Um, I definitely need to watch the whole Kill Bill. I've never seen the Kill Bill movies, just clips. So I'm gonna go and watch the whole extended cut with
Got
both movies
homework.
and deleted scenes. So be expecting some movie reviews, man, because I really like I'm a big movie head. So just be expecting it. That Toy Story 5 trailer, if you guys haven't seen it, it spoke to my heart. It hurt my heart. Woody's got a bald spot. I don't know how to feel about it. Thank you guys for watching again. Thank you, Mr. Magic Fingers, for being here. Thank you, Art the Clown, for being in the background as always. Uh, and we will catch you guys next week, man. I love you guys. And remember, don't fuck with the mafia.